good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are and what time of day it is when you watch this video. My name is Z, and welcome back to my gaming corner. In today's episode, this is Tier 5, Part 1, the Serpentshrine Cavern for our Raids of Azeroth. We're here to collect the tokens for Tier 5. Maybe we'll get some pets from some of the bosses. The final boss, Lady Vash'j, drops the Black Stalker, like the Coilfang Stalker. Mogrim Tidescorn drops the infamous Tideskipper pet that you need for raiding with leashes too. And there is a very special boss in here that is unique in the fact that you have to fish the boss up. You could completely skip this boss, but he does drop some pretty cool loot, and if you want to fight the boss, you have to fish him up. So we're going to do all of that today. So we are here in the mushroom forest of Zangamarsh. You can see some of the mushrooms behind me. Let me just adjust my camera angle. There's big, giant mushrooms all over the zone. And we are here, and this spiral of light, like this pillar of light, is the Coilfang Reservoir. So let's get down to brass tacks, and let me show you what the Tier 5 looks like. So up here on my minimap, you'll see that I have this lovely add-on called Atlas Loot. And if you are a big connoisseur of transmoggable items, also known as Xmog, Atlas Loot will show you everything the Dungeon Journal will show you, but easier. So if we click on Atlas Loot and bring this collection, this pull-down menu down to the Collections tab, and bring this one down to Tier Sets, we are going after our Tier 5 sets. And for the Druids, the Tier 5 set, which is the Raiment of Nordrassil, looks like this. They get a cool purple glow on those shoulders, little purple accents, cool little antler type crown. That's the Druid set. The Hunter set is Serpent Stalker. And if you know your Blood Elves from Silvermoon City, Ranger General Haldurin Brightwing wears this set with the appropriate belt and boots, but without the helmet. They get these big, huge shoulders that get these lightning effects on them. Very cool, if you ask me. The Mage Tier 5 is the Raiment of the Magus, and their shoulders glow with like a ruby red misty light, and it, like, you can see it pulsing underneath the top parts of the shoulders. The Raiment of the Magus. That's what the Mage's Tier 5 set looks like. The Paladin set is Crystal Forge armor. And there is a white recolor of the top half of this armor. I wish Blizzard would release the pants and the boots so we could actually have a full set of the recolor of this armor. But the Crystal Forge stuff looks really, really good. The belt and the boots you can actually make with blacksmithing, and you could be a purple paladin. It's really cool, if you ask me. The Priest Tier 5 is the Raiment of the Avatar. And if you remember from our last episode when we went to Gruul's Lair, High King Mulgar, who is the first boss of Gruul's Lair, drops the belt for Tier 5. But now you get to see the rest of the Priest set. So they get this helmet like an angel that has this starry halo above their head, and then they get these wings, like angelic wings, over the shoulders. Looks super, super cool. That's the Raiment of the Avatar Tier 5 Priest. The Rogue Tier 5 is Netherblade armor. And you can see there's a very subtle effect on the shoulders right here. How it looks like there's shadows dancing across the shoulders. There's no mist coming off of them, but there is shadows dancing across the shoulders. Look at that. And that's a nice cool effect. They get skulls on the gloves. They get almost like a Skeletor mask for their helmet. But that is the Rogue Tier 5, the Netherblade stuff. The Shaman Tier 5 is the Cataclysm set, or the Shattered Cataclysmic set. They get these broken, fiery shoulders, fiery helmet. They get pants for their Tier 5. So remember how I said the Shamans are, sometimes they wear pants and sometimes they wear robes for their tier sets? This is a set where they use pants. The Warlock Tier 5 is one of the iconic Warlock sets. This is the Corruption Regalia. They get this skull crown with this chain halo. Let me zoom in on that helmet. Look at that. A massive chain halo. Kind of creepy, right? And then they get mounted skulls on spikes. Very reminiscent of Gul'dan's armor from the Warcraft movie, how he had these big huge spikes on the back of his shoulders and then skulls mounted on top of them. And there is a sword. Let me just show this to you really fast. In the Burning Crusade, in the raid, the Battle for Mount Hyjal, Archimonde drops a one-handed sword called Tempest of Chaos that just goes perfectly with this Transmog set. Look, the skulls are the same. It's the same coloration. There's this icky red glowy stuff on the sword, icky red glowy stuff on the shoulders. And Warlocks can use one-handed swords for Transmog as long as they have an appropriate offhand item. I just wanted to show that off for the Warlocks. Okay, going back to collections and tier sets. Oh, no. Tier sets for Tier 5. The Warriors get this armor for their Tier 5. Huge, giant horns on the helmet. Cool, bladed shoulders. That is the Warrior Tier 5 set. And where you get this stuff is from two different raids. The Serpentshrine Cavern and Tempest Keep. And that's why there's going to be two videos on this subject matter, because today we are doing the full raid of Serpentshrine Cavern. In our next episode, we will go to Tempest Keep and do that raid. So, I am standing here at the Twin Spire Ruins in Zangarmarsh, and you see there's a raid portal way over there for Serpentshrine Cavern, but in reality, the raid portal isn't really over there at all. This is one of the few raid portals where it's actually underwater. So the quickest way, the absolute quickest way to get to this location, whether you are Horde or Alliance, you know your main city portal rooms? Like the portal room in the Mage Tower in Stormwind, or the portal room in the Den of Paths in Orgrimmar, at the Gates of Orgrimmar, and there's all those portals in the new portal rooms we got. Well, there is a portal to Shattrath City, which is located right here in the Terakar Forest. And I love these new maps. So Shattrath City is located right there, and then you just fly northwest up to this location in Zangarmarsh. And it's infinitely shorter than approaching from the Dark Portal. Remember those special portals to Hellfire Peninsula that are still active in Old Undercity and Old Darnassus? And it puts you right here at the steps of the Stairs of Destiny, right at the Dark Portal. This flight all the way across Hellfire Peninsula is a lot longer than starting in Shattrath and just flying northwest. So what you want to do is you want to come to Coilfang Reservoir, and you'll notice it by this big pillar of bluish light coming off the reservoir. And to get to the actual raid entrance, you want to go directly underneath that light, and you want to dive down into the water. And you'll see this drain right here. And let's use one of my underwater mounts, because we can go faster on an underwater mount. You want to go into the drain, and you want to just follow this pipe that will take you to an underground. It's not really an aquifer, but it's an underground flooded cavern. And this is where you'll find the 3 dungeons, the slave pens, the underbog, and the steam vault, and this big giant waterfall right here in front of us. That is Serpentshrine Cavern. So if we look at our map, there's not a map of the cavern, which is so unfair. There are 2 dungeons over there, the steam vault and the slave pens, and there is another dungeon over there for the underbog. And then of course there is a broken guy here called Mortog's Steamhead, and if you talk to him, you can sell and repair and buy Cenarian healing salve, or a mana salve, or vanishing powder, or a simple dagger if you need, whatever. But you can sell and repair your gear before you venture into the Serpentshrine Cavern. Let's go inside and see what treasures we can find, and hopefully get some tier 5 tokens for our paladin. Okay, so here we are at the Serpentshrine Cavern, and we have to take not 1, but 2 elevators. You can see there's an elevator way down there. Way down there. Give it just a minute and it'll make its ascent. So you can see it's starting to come up right now. We have to take not 1, but 2 elevators to get into the raid proper. So here's our first elevator going down. And then we have to take another elevator going up into the cavern. Okay, so we have arrived at the bottom of the elevator, and that puts us right here in this room, and we have to come down this walkway, and we'll find another elevator right over there. And there it is. Wonderful. And this will take us up into the Serpentshrine Cavern proper. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of the Serpentshrine Cavern, and we come down this path to our first boss, come over here, and this is the lurker below. This is the boss we have to fish up. And then we're going to take a detour right here and go north and kill these 3 bosses up here in the northern part of the raid, and then make our way back to the center part and come over here and kill Lady Vash'j. So when you enter the Serpentshrine Cavern, if you want to skip all the trash, feel free to skip the trash and just surgically strike the bosses. While this is a fairly decent place to get netherweave cloth, you can get netherweave cloth from any of the Burning Crusade dungeons or raids, including Karazhan, which is one of the best places to get netherweave. So there is our first boss, Hydros the Unstable. And he has a very small chance to drop the Tainted Waveling pet. Let's see what loot we get from him. Tainted Core, oh look at that. There we go, we teach you how to summon a Tainted Waveling. So we did get the pet, wonderful. We get a ring. Let's just cancel that out. So all we get from him are rings. Okay, no transmog from him per se, but we did get the Tainted Waveling pet, which is this one right here. And if we click on that, you'll see that we got the Tainted Waveling, and it looks like a mini Hydros. Very cool, if you ask me. Alright, so let's make our way in this general direction, and we're working towards this platform right here to take us on this big ring that goes around the center of the area. And what we're going to look for is we're looking for a pipe that goes down into the water so we can fish up our second boss. So after the first platform, located right here, you'll see this pipe that goes down into the lower area. And that ring right there that has that fishing, like that strange pool, like a fishing node, that's where our boss is. And yes, we'll have to deal with some of these Coilfang frenzies that are in the water.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, and he's going to aggro on us, so we can't really do much. Okay, so in order to fish this boss up, you're going to need to have a fishing pole, some fishing skill, and some luck. So I'm going to increase my fishing skill by, what is it, plus 10 fishing skill for 10 minutes. And if I equip it, then I get plus 13 fishing, and we're going to fish this boss up as best we can. Oh, and there he is. First try. Wonderful. Oh, where's his loot? There we go. So he wants to give us the Tempest Strider boots. Male boots. Let me put this in the other. If we look at those boots very carefully, those boots could work for the Shaman Tier 5. Let's look at the Shaman Tier 5 again. So, collections, tier sets, tier 5, Shaman, and those boots. Those boots could work for it, or it could be for... It's definitely not for the Hunter set, because the Hunter set is blue. But there you go, we got some male boots. We get the Mallet of the Tides, a one-handed mace. Looks like that. Kind of cool. And we get a Choker of Animalistic Fury. So that is the loot we got from the lurker below. And then what we want to do is we want to basically backtrack take our steps and backtrack. And you want to go around this big rock right here. Ow. And we want to get back over to our pipe that we took to get down into the water, which it's kind of hard to see when you're swimming in the water. You try and look up and the view goes underneath the waves. Oh yeah, there it is. There we go. Okay, so we can get back on this pipe and we can make our way back up to where we left the main path. And it's kind of hard to see exactly where the path is on the minimap because there's all these pipes and stuff. Because you look up and there's all these pipes going everywhere. And the minimap shows all of that. But when we get to this northern horizontal walkway, which on the big map is this walkway right here, we can turn to the left and take this path into the northern section of the raid. We're going to see if we can't just walk around this giant underbog colossus without aggroing him. Looks like we can. And we'll just sneak in here between the Naga. And what we're doing is we're coming into this chamber to kill Leothrus, or Leotherus the Blind. And he's located up on this little platform here with Illidari banners behind him. Because he is, for all intents and purposes, a demon hunter. So he even has his warglaives on. Very cool. Okay. He wants to give us some gold. These true aim stalker bonds. If we just zoom in on this smaller transmog window, you can see that we got these male bracers that look like that. Kind of cool. We also got these coral bobbed shoulder pads, which are a bluish, kind of gray and blue recolor of the tier 5 shaman shoulders. Very cool, if you ask me. We also got the girdle of the invulnerable. That is the warrior tier 5 belt. So if we come down here to the tier sets, tier 5 warrior, see, that is the warrior tier 5 belt we just got. And we get the gloves of the vanquished hero, hunter, mage, warlock. So he drops the glove token. Very cool. Too bad it's not for paladins though. Alright, once Leotheris the Blind is dead, take this path in the southeast corner of the room and we can make our way to Warlord Kelithris. I think that's his name. And we're just going to skirt around. Oh, I guess we're going to aggro these broken. So come through this tunnel, and when we get to the other side, we should be able to see our next boss. Yes, and there he is. Oh, I'm sorry, Fathom Lord Kelithris. Not Warlord, but Fathom Lord. And he has a little entourage with him, so no, let's just take them all out. Alright, we get 8 gold. We get these Soul Strider boots, cloth boots, and those are the priest tier 5 boots. So if we come to collections, we come to tier sets, tier 5, priest is right here. You look at that, look at that. We got the tier 5 priest boots. We got 2 of those. We also get these patterns belt of the Black Eagle, which is a male belt, which is the shaman. So if we look at the shaman armor, or no, not the shaman armor, the hunter armor. Hunter armor. There it is, the belt of the Black Eagle, Outland leatherworking. We got the belt that matches the tier 5 hunter armor. Very cool. We also got this sextant of unstable currents, which is a trinket, and we get leggings of the vanquished defender, warrior, priest, druid. So he drops the pants tokens for tier 5. So once Fathom Lord Kelithris is defeated, you want to take this tunnel on the east side of the room out and wind your way around to Mogrim Tidewalker. And we're just going to try to walk past the Naga without aggroing them. And Mogrim Tidewalker has an extremely low chance of dropping the Tideskipper pet, which if you're going for raiding with leashes, part 2, it's required for raiding with leashes part 2. So if we go to our achievement pane and come down here to pet battles and collect, and we look for raiding with leashes 2, a 2-min edition, you'll see right, where is it? Right here, you need to have the Tideskipper pet. And that's dropped from Mogrim Tidewalker. Oh, and looks like the patrol came back and wanted to aggro me. That's fine, that's fine. One Judgment Hammer should take care of Mogrim Tidewalker. And of course aggro all his Murloc friends. Isn't that annoying? Alright, what does he want to give us? He wants to give us this luminescent rod of the Naru. One-handed wand, green and purple with a very, very prominent pink glowish accent right there. He also gave us the razor scale battle cloak, which looks like that. It's a very long cloak. Looks like that. We also got the Conqueror's shoulders. This is a Burning Crusade green transmog item. There's one in gold, one in red. There's one in white and gray. We also got the Illidari shoulder pads. This is a recolor of the Tier 5 Warlock stuff. So there you go. If you want to have like a green and red recolor for the Warlock Tier 5, we just got the shoulders for that. You'd have to go hunting for the other pieces of that transmog stuff. So once Mogrim Tidewalker is dead, head south. Head south out of the room and you'll eventually make your way back to the main walkway. Yeah, there's no way to run between that Naga right there. We'll just sneak past this Underbog Colossus. And we'll sneak past this pack of Naga and make our way back to the center ring. Okay, once you get over to this platform right here in Serpentshrine Cavern, you will see this Lady Vash'j bridge console. This funky looking thing right here and a funky looking gate. So if you click on this, once all the bosses are dead, you can raise the bridge to go kill Lady Vash'j. And if you're lucky and can kill Lady Vash'j in one shot, you won't have to deal with Phase 2. But Blizzard has tweaked some of these bosses, like remember Nightbane from Karazhan? Not Highborn anymore. They've been turned into Naga. But you remember Nightbane, how we had to endure all 3 air phases one after the other, and then he finally landed and we could kill him? We might have to do the same with Lady Vash'j, and if my Judgment Hammer won't kill her outright. Nope. We got her down before Phase 2. Alright, what does she want to give us? She wants to give us Nether Vortex. We got this Serpent Spine Longbow. Interesting bow for you hunters out there. Kind of cool. Very cool. We also got the Helm of the Vanquished Defender, Warrior, Priest, Druid. And we got this Fang of Lady Vash'j. 2 of those. So we got a one-handed dagger. That dagger looks kind of cool, and it has a kind of a sickly green kind of mist coming off of it. Kind of cool. And Helm of the Vanquished Champion. Yay. Paladin, Rogue, Shamans. Wonderful. So we can take that helmet and right-click it and turn it into Crystal Forge armor, which we just got our purple helm for our Tier 5 set. We got one pet on Hydros the Unstable with the Tainted Waveling. but we didn't get any other pets from any of the other bosses. And that is how you complete Serpentshrine Cavern. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, rate me a like, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you always know when new content comes out. My regularly scheduled broadcast is weekly on Sundays, with bonus videos scattered throughout the week, showing different aspects to the lore, different side quests that you can complete, and different fun activities that you can do while you're in Azeroth. Also, please tell your friends about us so they can come and they can enjoy these videos and enjoy the adventures just as much as you do. Finally, and most importantly of all, please remember this. World of Warcraft is just a game, and games are meant to be fun, and you're supposed to have fun while playing them, so if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Meet me back here next time when we venture into the Tempest Keep and go after the Lord of the Blood Elves, Coilfang Sunstrider. He betrayed his people, he sided with the demon Illidan, and basically introduced us to the Fel Crystals, which turned all the Blood Elf eyes green with Fel Taint, and used Fel energy to restore Silvermoon City. That's why when you go to Silvermoon, there's all these burning Fel Crystals all over the city. Yeah, that's Coilfang's fault. So we have to go take care of the Lord of the Blood Elves, Coilfang Sunstrider, and get our other pieces of the Tier 5 set in Tempest Keep. That's next time. But until then, when I look forward to showing you all those new adventures and all those new areas. But until then, I'm Z, signing off.